Hello traders, Kelly254 here, and today I want to create this bot whereby it was requested right over here. Is it possible to create a bot that purchases even digit 3 times, then purchase one odd, then even 1 time, then again odd 3 times, then even 1 time? It's like kind of he or she wants to achieve some randomization of even and odd. Let's get to this bot and I show you how to create such kind of a bot. So first thing first, if you are interested in any of our bots and you are not able to create it via the tutorial that I shared, you can always get it via the link on the description box. It will bring you to this page whereby you can download it instantly. Let's get started. First thing first is to reset our bot. After resetting, we do not need these sell conditions, so we delete it, and then we head over to from up and down to digits, and then from digits to even odd. Remember, we have some randomization right over there, so we're going to create some variables. First is a trade list. We also need trade count. We also need trade pick or trade list pick, or let me just call it list pick to avoid confusion. List pick. I need also list count, like that. I need also change. I need also, if there is any other variable that I will need, I will add it as I continue to make the bot. The next thing is to create a list. Then from this end, I'll create the trade list. This is where I'll key in the number of trades. If you have tried to observe, it's switching between even and odd. So trade list, we first have to enter how the trades are being followed. That is a 3 1. Then the next one is a 3 1 1 3 1 1 3 1, like that. We also need something to show our bot what number of what trades are we in. So we go forth to pick the list. Need the list pick, or let's use list count at this case. List count, set it to 1. So we will start from the very fast number of trades on the list. The next one that we need to assign the trades on the first on these. Let me just show you on this first block right over here. Let me collapse it. So we may need to create another variable, or I use trade count. Let me use trade count right over here, and in our trade count we need a list. Pick an item from a list. In list, pick an item from a list, and then we need to pick this item. Get an item. In list, we need a list count. So we scroll to list count, and then we need to pick trade list. Sorry, this is trade list. Trade list. We need to pick from this trade list, and here it's the list count. Yeah, like that. So the trade count is set to the value that is currently set by the list count. So the next thing, we need logic. logic, we need to compare something, so we go back again to logic. So I want to duplicate this block because we will use it several times here. So set change to, we need true or false, so we go to logic, set change to true. If change is equals to true, then execute this block and then set change to false, like that. And then we also need this block right over here. We need trade type to create another variable called trade type, like that. Then set our trade type right over here, set trade type to 0, then if trade type, then go back again to variables. If trade type is equals to 0, we need maths is equals to 0, then purchase even, else purchase odd. We also need to duplicate this one because we will use it in a few minutes. So if we need to delete these ones. If trade type is not equals to 0, then set trade type to 0, else set trade type to 1, like that. Then we also need to reset the restarting to set some few variables on the restarting conditions. So we have to bear in mind that we have a list right over here that is supposed to give us the trades that we are supposed to use, and we also have to the bot to trade that contract type or that market type for the number of trades to end. So you must have that in mind. So the other thing that we are going to add, we can add a variable by the name trades, like that. Then set here, we do not need to set, rather let me just duplicate like that. We need to change. This might be complicated for those of you who are not used to creating bots. Change trades by 1, and then we also need to attach our trades right over here. Set trades to 0. We need to set trades to 0, and we need logic again. Logic compare, then go back to variables. If trades is equals to the number of trade count variables, then down to trade count. If trades is equals to the number of trade count, then automatically set change to true. This one should be false, like that. Set change to true. Then the next thing that it should be done, once the trades are equal to the number of trade count, set trades to 0. The next thing that it should do this, alternate the trades from even to odd. And the other thing that it should do, it should change. Make sure that the change blocks are on point. The change blocks should be on point because they're the ones. Set change to true, set trades to 0. Then the next thing is change. We need maths. We need change. Is it this one? We need to change list count. list count by 1 like that. And we also need another logic. I know most of you have been confused here, but maybe you'll be pausing the video, internalize that, and then continue to the next. If list count need variables, if list count is greater than length of, we need list length of our trade list, which is this one, variables, go to trade list, this one. If list count is greater than trade list, meaning that this list will be done at this point, then what do? We first set our trade count to 1 as it is right over here. We also need to set trade type to 0 as it is at this case. And that's it for this bot. We have finished creating this bot, unless there is an error somewhere, but I don't think so. So let's run the bot and see if it obeys what was intended by the one who wrote the comment. So we want to expand our we need to remove this comment, this trade list, to see that if it will obey those trades. Let's run the bot and see. It started with even. It's supposed to go 3 evens before changing to odd. Let's see if it's changed to odd. It did not change to odd. That means that our list count must have a problem. Means that our list count must have a problem. We need to arrange these blocks. Change to true, change to false. If trades, we need to change trades by 1. If trades is equals to trade count, then do a sub. You see, list count is on point. The problem is right over here. You see, we chose even, so this one supposed to be odd. Let's rerun the bot and see if it obeys our list. Supposed to go three even trades. You see, it's changed to odd 1 contract, go back to even like that, and then go back again to 3 odd contracts. Let's wait and see if it's what we get. Those are 2. The third one, then supposed to go to even like that, and then restart the whole cycle back again. Now it's supposed to go 3 even trades back to back. That's the second one. This one. Third one, let's wait. Supposed to change now to odd. As you have seen, it changed back to odd, and then the cycle repeats itself like that. You can always add a martingale to this bot if you really want, but you should be careful because it is basically operating on randomization. It wants to randomize the trades. I'm not sure though, maybe there is a certain pattern or market conditions that the one who wrote the logic will be executing or running the bot once he sees the conditions align. So that's it. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment the next logic that you wanna see. Yeah, maybe you can check for the last time if it's running well. It is at this point right over here. So the next trade should be one contract of even, and then resume 3 contracts of even. So it ended the cycle right over here. Then we continue. This was the first even, the second even, the third even. So it's supposed to go back to odd like that. Yeah, and the cycle like that, the way the one who wrote the comment requested. Let's see each other on the next video.